Hey there, Andrew here, welcoming you to another episode of Research and Reviews. In this episode, I will be sharing with you how I wash my car with no rinse, wash and shine. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not a detailer, I'm not a car wash expert. This video is simply intended to show you how I wash my car with this product. That said, let's get to work. I use a 5-gallon bucket pre-marked to the 2-gallon point. Then I drop in 1 cap of product into the bucket. Then add 2 gallons of water. Next, I drop in my sediment strainer. Fill my spray bottle. Of course, you want to make sure that the top is on tight. I've got one of these nifty sponges that has the extra cuts in it to increase surface cleaning area, but any sponge will do. I also make sure that I have a healthy supply of microfiber towels for drying purposes. I usually clean my glass areas first, and you just put a few light spritzes of the product on the panel areas that you're ready to clean. Next, I wring out the sponge really well so that it is as dry as I can get it, and then I use it to wipe down the areas the product's been applied. I use long, straight movements when I'm using the sponge rather than short circular movements. Finally, I use the microfiber in the same fashion that I use the sponge in those long, straight motions. After I've done the glass, I start with the body, and I always begin with the least soil part of the car and move my way towards the back where most of the dirt and grime tends to accumulate. After applying the product, then I use the sponge in the same manner that I did in the glass panels in the previous section. Once I'm finished with the sponge, then I grab a clean microfiber and I use it again in the same fashion that I used the sponge. I clean and dry my car in sections. I start like I showed it with the glass, then I move to the nose, then I do each side, and then I finish with the back. The process is always the same. I start by spritzing on the product. Then I use the sponge, always making sure that it's well wrung out every time that I apply it. And then I conclude with the microfiber cloth. On my car, the back is always the dirtiest portion, so sometimes you might need to use a slightly wetter sponge to get all the grime off. Wheels are done in largely the same fashion. Spray down the wheels with the product. I use a slightly wetter sponge though, and I clean in all of the little tight spaces and crevices first. After that, then I wipe down the exterior portion of the spokes, and then I give a quick wipe down of the center section. And then after that, I like to tuck the sponge down around that caliper and make sure that I get that all cleaned off as well. The action with the microfiber is exactly the same. I clean those little crevices, and after that I'll wipe off the spokes. Then I'll hit that center section and finally tuck the microfiber down along the caliper to make sure it's nice and dry. One thing I like to do is pop open the hatch in all 4 doors and clean into those little crevices that you can't see when the doors and hatch are closed, but are really evident when you open them up. Cleaning these areas gives the car a really finished look. For the interior, I use 2 microfibers, one wet and one slightly dry, and then I just do a quick wipe down. I do that for the door cards and also the dash area and the steering and other controls. As a final touch, I like to use a non-microfiber cloth to clean the floor mats. It gives it a really nice finished look. So there you have it. That's my method for cleaning my car. That's all for now. I'll see you next time.